Harden is leading the team with 26.8 points. Kevin Durant's right behind him with 26.7, and Kyrie's at 23.6. James Harden was traded to the Brooklyn Nets, so I thought it'd be fun to jump over to MyNBA and see a simulated season with these three together. And so I've went ahead and traded everyone to the proper team. So Harden's here on the Nets, Victor Oladipo's on the Rockets, and so forth. Now I took off injuries and some other things so we can just see a full simulated season to see how the NBA would have, kind of ran if none of these players would have been injured and this trade would have happened, let's say, before the season even started. So here in Coach Game Plan, as you can see, Kyrie's the starting point guard. We have James Harden. They have Joe Harris at small forward, Kevin Durant at power forward, DeAndre Jordan at center. And so I went ahead and set up the first scoring option, of course, is Kevin Durant, second for James Harden, third for Kyrie Irving. And so now we'll simulate through the season. We'll have a stopping point at the All-Star break where we'll check in to see, how the stats are going. But we'll just see how the simulation runs from here. So here we are at the All-Star break. As you can see, the Nets are 38-17. We'll go look at the stats and see how each of them are doing. So here we are at the stats. As you can see, James Harden is leading the team with 26.8 points. Kevin Durant's right behind him with 26.7, and Kyrie's at 23.6. Spencer Dinwiddie off the bench is averaging 15.6. They're all averaging pretty good rebounds. James Harden at 5.8, 8.1 for Durant. Great ball movement here. Here we are in team stats. As you can see, the Nets lead the league in points per game at 125.6, which is actually quite a bit higher than even second place Lakers. Let's see what other stats they kind of lead in here. Point differential is 9.9. They're third in three-pointers made. They lead the league in three-point percentage at almost 42%. They're number one in free throws made, number one in free throws attempted, and I think that's really like a James Harden effect. They're number one in free throw percentage. Wow, that's so. The really surprising one here is that they lead the league in assists per game. They have actually do have some great, of course, great passers with James Harden, Kyrie, and Durant, all pretty good passers. But to lead the league, Wizards second at 29.8, so they're pretty far ahead of the pack when it comes to assists per game. So here are in power rankings, and NBA.com has the Brooklyn Nets as the number one team. 2K Sports has Brooklyn Nets as 2. Eric has us as the number one team. And so the power ranking kind of has us unanimous, almost number one. And now for the NBA actual standing, so in the Eastern Conference, the Nets are in third place. The Cavaliers having 41 wins with, wow, I didn't expect that. So I guess like Jarrett Allen being traded there has absolutely changed this roster. So that's pretty interesting. And then if we go to the West, we can check in on to see how the Rockets are doing. Not too hot. Victor Oladipo, of course, got traded there. They're not doing so well. And then another team that kind of got transformed by this would be the Pacers. So we can kind of check in on them. So the Pacers with Karis LeVert didn't do too much. Didn't make them much better, it seems. So it looks like the biggest turnaround so far is definitely the Cleveland Cavaliers with this. But Brooklyn Nets are sitting third, and we'll see how the rest of the season finishes out. So here at the end of the season, the Nets have finished, well, there's one game left, but they're 49-32. We take a look at the stats. Harden has finished with 26, Durant 25.9, Kyrie 23.9. All the numbers are kind of the same as what we looked at before. We'll look at the team stats. We're here at the team stats, and so the Nets still average the most points per game. They dropped to 5th in points differential. The Nets are 3rd in three-pointers made at 16.0. The Nets are 4th in three-point percentage. They lead the league in free throws made, lead the league in free throws attempted, lead the league in free throw percentage. So they do a great job of getting to the line. They lead the league in assists per game. So now we're going to take a look again at the NBA power rankings. Last time we were kind of unanimous number one or number two. But for now, for NBA.com, they have the Brooklyn Nets at 7. 2K Sports now has the Brooklyn Nets at 8. Eric now has the Brooklyn Nets at 7. And so we dropped from number 1 or 2 down to number 7 or 8, which is a huge drop. There was quite a bit of losses in the second half. Go ahead and comment below right here who you think's going to win the MVP. I think the unanimous vote will probably be Giannis, but let's see if someone gets it right. So we're going to go simulate this game, and we'll see if it's going to be Giannis or somebody else. So here are at the awards, and if you guessed Giannis, congratulations. LaMelo Ball gets Rookie of the Year. Ricky Rubio gets Sixth Man of the Year. Looks like he was traded to Dallas during this season. Giannis gets Defensive Player of the Year, and Christian Wood gets Most Improved. And JB Bickerstaff is the Coach of the Year. Executive of the Year is Brandon Harrison. So no Nets players made all first team. Kevin Durant made all second team. James Harden made all NBA third team. No Brooklyn Nets in all defensive team. No Brooklyn Nets in the all defensive first team. No one in the second team. So not too many awards. The Brooklyn Nets are the 5th seed, so we'll go through and simulate. We'll simulate each series, and then we'll go back and look at the stats. Hopefully we make it to the finals, but we'll see. Before we simulate it, go ahead and comment below on which round you think the Nets will get to here in the simulation. I feel like they're going to get to the semifinals. I think we'll beat Milwaukee, but I think Cleveland, it seems like the offensive rebounding or defensive rebounding is really strong in this simulation. But there is a good chance that we could stun, or the Brooklyn Nets could stun the Cavs, and then we'd probably play Philadelphia here. That could also be pretty tough. I think there's a decent run that we could go on, but I'm going to go ahead and say the conference semifinals. So comment below what you think the Brooklyn Nets will finish at. So game one will go to Milwaukee. Game 2 goes to Milwaukee. Oh, Giannis is taking over. Game 3 goes to Milwaukee. All right, game 4, the Nets came back and won, and they got eliminated. So we'll kind of go back and look through a few of these games just to see some of the stats. So game 1, Giannis 28-19 with 7 assists. Wow. Durant goes 9 for 22 from the field. Kyrie goes 5 for 11. Durant had 5 turnovers. Game 2, Harden, they lose by 4. Harden goes for 38. Shot really well. Durant shot better this game. Kyrie 4 for 9, didn't make a 3. Looks like that's Bobby Portis, right? Yeah, Bobby Portis goes for 30, only missed 3 shots from the field. Giannis, like 27-11. That was a tough game. A 3-point loss. Kevin Durant drops 33, Kyrie 23, Harden. Just some pretty bad shooting. And then if we go look at Chris Middleton, then drops 37. Giannis 29-20. Wow. And then game 4, Brooklyn blows out the Bucks. James Harden 42, Kyrie 38. Two players with 10 plus assists. That's great. Almost Kevin Durant almost had a triple double. That's wow. This is a game that you kind of expect him to kind of have. And then the Bucks, Giannis missed a lot of shots. 4 for 15 from 3. Man, Giannis is absolutely letting them rip. And then game 5, the Bucks just come out and dominate. Durant 30. Harden has 26 and 11 assists. Kyrie 25 and 9. But on the other side, Giannis comes out with 47 points and 16 rebounds. Goes 7 for 10 from 3. That's absolutely crazy. Well, the Brooklyn Nets, they got eliminated in the first round. Did anyone predict that they would get eliminated in the first round? If so, I mean, good job. We'll see who ends up winning the NBA Finals here. And so it looks like the Cleveland Cavaliers have won this trade. They go on to win the NBA championship in this simulation. Of course, no injuries and things like that. But apparently having like 6 centers on your team in simulation is the best thing you can have. Of course, getting a lot of defensive rebounds and offensive rebounds. That's just absolutely crazy that out of every team, I don't think anyone would have ever guessed the Cleveland Cavaliers would have took the championship during the simulation. So Andre Drummond gets the MVP, 14 points, 13 rebounds per game. Just probably just grabbing every single rebound that was out there. We took a look at the Brooklyn Nets in the trade. The Cleveland Cavaliers ended up winning the NBA Finals. This is a little different than what we normally do on the channel, but if you like this, consider subscribing. Thank you all for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.